I'll just pause this recording till we get some crew on. What's up, my bro?
Oh, just living the dream. What about yourself?
Mate, very same. Living the dream.
The dream. Apologies for that link, team. That's my bad, but there's some learnings in that video as well. And hopefully, Cal and I were on a business coaching retreat to sharpen up our THQ sword and learn, the new techniques as coaches, so we can pass on to you guys and give you the best of, well, everything in us. And that video actually talks about creating a group and creating questions in it and how to do so and how to find it. So there's some learnings in that video, but hopefully we get to touch on that stuff today. So we've got Stevie, Benny. I think Ash was saying she was coming along a little bit later, so that's cool. Gentlemen, how are we today?
Good. Yourself?
Pretty well, man.
Good, man. Real good.
Cool as. So, guys, I've got a bit of a exercise I wanted to start off with this morning. So, what we're going to do is we're just going to have a bit of a check-in with how we're going from okay, it's session number 5 today. What have we really got out of the first 4 sessions? We're going to talk about that a little bit and just kind of touch base with ourselves and really ask questions. Okay, am I getting the most out of this? Am I doing what I need to do? Am I getting what I wanted to get out of this? Am I on the right direction? So we're just going to have a quick check-in now. It might take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, but I feel it's really important. So question number 1, and if you want to get pen and paper and kind of write this stuff down as we go, that's all G. So question 1 is, what have you gotten out of this program? It might be one massive learning, or it might be a couple of things. When I ask the question, what have you got out of this program so far? What comes up to you? Or you might just want to verbalize it.
Number 1 for me is about being proactive instead of reactive.
Cool. Yeah, proactive instead of reactive. Yeah.
For me,
sorry, Benny. We might have a bit of a bad line from you today, Benny. Hopefully it sharpens up a little bit. I got most of what you said. The first sentence, being proactive, not reactive.
Yep. That's just that you've got to take control of your business if you want it to be where you want it to be. Like, nobody else is going to do it for you.
100%. 100% agree with you. Yeah, cool. And what a great lesson to get out of it as well. So, mate, that's the number 1 thing you take away from this and hold on to it in the future. I feel that would benefit yourself or anyone that learned that lesson. So that's great. What about you, Stevie?
So that's definitely a huge part of it. So I would second that. But on top of that, just understanding that I think understanding the fact that it's very boring, it's very uninspiring, it's very not exciting to be just a personal trainer and not just be saying the things that you think needed to be said. And I guess the more you separate yourself from every other person, the better off you're at. Even if that puts you in a smaller niche, that niche is still huge in comparison, and like how you can so it's even if you have a very, very small niche, there's so many of those small people out there. Like that small amount still huge, and it's important to just focus on that, because not only is that gonna get you more people, but that's technically what you wanted to do in the first place. It should be where your passion is, where your skill set is, where all that is. So I feel like I said it in the beginning, like I said what I was, but I didn't have any way of putting it out there and having people see it the way that I said that it was. So I think honing in on that, finding out exactly what it is, how to put it out there, and how to like just own it, and it's okay to stay in my boundaries. It's okay to find that zone, stay in that zone, and say like, oh, I don't really go in these other zones, and like I'm not the best for you. I'm the best for you if you suit this zone. But yeah, so I feel like that's like the biggest takeaway so far.
Sweet, very good, love it, excellent. Thank you, boys. Now, second question, and don't answer this straight away. I want you to kind of give yourself a couple of seconds to assess this question within. Out of 10, how much have you, well, out of 10, sorry, let me just double check the wording here. Out of 10, have you used this program to its full potential? 10 being fuck yes. Nailed it, used all the systems, asked the boys questions when I needed to. So have you used this program to its full potential?
So for me, I'm probably about a 7 at the moment.
7 at the moment? Okay, cool.
Yeah. I know that I'm still working through the pathway to profit section, and I know there's a lot in that I can certainly use in the future, and I intend to certainly finish it. I have done a bit in the last week, which is better than what I probably did last time. So that just feel that I keep working on through that, then I'll be getting more towards 10. But I know that I'm not there yet, just because I haven't done that section yet.
Okay, cool.
That's being honest. So I'm not going to say I've finished pathway to profits, because that'll be just bullshit.
Yep.
No point bullshit. And I haven't finished it, but I intend to.
Okay, cool, fantastic, cool. Yeah, very good, very good. Stevie, out of 10?
Yeah, it's gonna sound like I'm just copying him, but he's pretty much saying exactly what I wanted to say. Yeah, so I'd say I'm definitely on the higher end of the scale. Like I'm more than half, but there's definitely so much more I know I can be doing. And a huge part of that is the pathways to profit. But I've definitely had some takeaways. I've definitely implemented some things that I'm already seeing the fruits of the labor. I'm already seeing how better to phrase how I do things, how better to construct my consults, and things like that are flowing much better. And even if I'm not getting the end result, I already feel better of the process, like just as I do it, which that confidence would just stack on itself and continue forward. So, but yes, to answer your question, not nearly as much as I could. Yeah.
Cool. No, honesty is good, lads. Honesty is good. And that's what me and Carly here. Like, you don't need to be anything to us except for where you're truly at and what you truly are. Like, just be yourself in this product, in this program, and in life, really, because people are going to understand where you are, and we can actually accurately assess what to do moving forward. So I appreciate both your honesties. That's all G. Next question is, what do you need to do to get the most out of this program? There's this session and another one left. What can we do? What do you need to do to ensure you get the most out of this program?
Pretty much implement everything from that pathway to profit, get it into your business. If you've got to, as Stephen said, just redesign your consults, redesign your sales pitch, your presentation, all that sort of stuff. That's the big win, I think, at the moment. And just, that's the big part of it. Yes, we are trainers, but we're salespeople. We're trying to sell the product that we're offering as best we can. And the more people you can convert from a sale, then, the better off you're going to be. So that's why you've got to put the energy and effort into that sales process and just make sure everything is on point. Okay, yes, we can generate the leads as well, but if we're not converting the leads when we get them, then
Yep, cool, love it. And you're right, sales that's your growth of your business, right? If you can't sell anybody in, or if you don't sell anybody in, your business isn't going to grow. We need to be able to sell people in, give them the opportunity of investing in our products and services. And so that sales presentation, or sales in general, is a massive portion of that. So yeah, absolutely. So if it was just if it was one thing, Betty, if we're going to summarize it down to one thing, short, sharp sentence, and if you don't have the answer right now, that's totally cool. But what's one thing you can kind of do, or from now to the end of the program, what's one thing we can lock in so you get the most out of it?
Well, I haven't done it yet, but I'm working on redesigning my sales process.
Yeah.
You know, the slides, all that sort of stuff, just to make it, you know, more on point rather than,
Cool.
just make it better.
Cool. Okay. So number one thing is just polish up your sales process. That's the biggest thing to you right now. Awesome. Stevie.
Yeah. I think the hugest thing that will give me that leg up is if I plan ahead and have these actions that are musts and not shoulds. So for example, I think of my marketing in a sense where it's like when I have the time, I will focus on the marketing, but I need to have the same way I book appointments with my clients, I need to book appointments where this is marketing strategy time. This is, face-to-face in the gym offering my services time. And I feel like I need to have these things in place so that it's not another week going by where I didn't take that certain aspect to the next level. But yeah. So preparing, organizing, knowing my week in advance instead of waiting to figure it out in that week.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Very good. Now, that's all well and good to get asked that question and have an answer. That's awesome, boys. Is there a way that we could write that down, or is there a way we can put that as a note or a reminder in our phone so that we can actually have something at the forefront of our mind? So I'll give you 20 seconds to do that.
Yeah.
Put it down somewhere, get it down. So it's all good answering these questions. And then if we start working on what we're going to be working through this session today, that's just going to be out of the forefront of the mind. So let's ensure that we invest a little bit of energy into making that happen.
Yeah. Definitely. And my schedule, just to give you some insight on that, Steve, my schedule, the way I lay it out is I have my PT sessions in there, the clients that I'm working with one-on-one, but I do different colour. I just use Google Calendar, but I have working on the business and I block out an hour and I put it right in the middle of the day when I've got nothing else on or whatever time suits me, and it's done. And that's when I sit down, I set an hour timer on the phone, just try and tick off, at least 3 things is a bit of a goal. But usually I find once I get a roll on, some days I can get 7 things ticked off the list.
Yeah.
And the feeling you get out of accomplishing those little tasks, it fires you up. You get way more motivated. You're going to go into your afternoon PT sessions with your clients just on a high because you're like, shit, I've got some stuff done. They get a better time out of you. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Benny, sorry to cut you off. Go again.
No, basically, that's exactly. I've come to terms like that. That's like the major thing that needs to change. I keep figuring it out during the week instead of I need a time frame, whether it's the end of the week or a certain time where it's just planning, where it's just like, okay, this is how I know roughly my week's gonna go. So here is the must. So here's the things that need to be done. Give myself what's the word? A deadline. Yeah, give myself a deadline and a time frame and smash it out instead of going, oh, okay, I will work on that, that ad that I have, when I have free time and blah, blah, blah. And it always keeps cycling back through and eventually something always takes its place. So I feel like I need to realize what's most important first and then schedule it in and smash it out. Yep. But yeah.
Cool, man. Cool.
If you struggle to put anything in place, Steve, that over the next kind of 12, 24 hours, that'd be a great question to ask in the group because I've got some great strategies that I won't go into now in this detail because we'll get off track of what we're focusing on today. But mate, if you find that it's not improving and you're not getting that important stuff at the top of the list and then into your week, mate, feel free to ask the question in the group. I'd love to have some input to that.
Yeah.
And Ben, definitely ask questions about your sales process, mate, if you need some guidance with that too.
Yeah. That sounds good.
Awesome, team. The next thing before we get stuck into the set, what we're going to focus on today is Pathway to Profits check-in. So what we're going to do, obviously, to have Cal and I here in the group chat and everyone to go through the process together, that was the initial kind of portion, a big portion of this. So where are we at in the pathway to profits? And I'm not asking this question in a sense of, okay, make sure we're at this stage. It's more so like, okay, are we happy with where we're at? How do we kind of boost that? Is there anything that me and Cal and I can help you with right now? So where are we at with pathway to profits?
So I know for me, I'm about halfway through, but I definitely yeah, like the sections that I'm on is a lot of videos, and so I just need to once again just commit to a video or two and just have that consistency happening, so I can not only get through it, but also so consistently that it's part of my average thinking. So it's in my subconscious, and I'm constantly, refeeding and retooling. And so so right now, yeah, I'm about halfway through, but that's part of what I want to schedule in. I want to schedule in where it's like from this block to this block, I'm watching 1 or 2 videos, or I'm watching a specific one, or whatever it is. But yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of the videos in there, man, are pretty much bang on 30 minutes long. So I think just trying to schedule in that 30-minute time block will probably be like a bang on thing to do just for that specific area.
Yeah.
Excellent. Cool. So Steve, if I got this correct, what you were saying is a part of what you really want to focus on is getting the priority of most important things through this course. Pathway to Profits has been and will be one of those important things you want to tick off, and then you're also talking about booking that into your calendar.
Yeah.
And then what Cal just said is making sure you've got that time. So is this an opportunity to literally just book in half hour a day? Boom, this week, next week, and just get it done. It might be just a couple of things added up there, and I just wanted to highlight that might be the opportunity to rip in and put a note on your file, and as soon as you get off this call, put in half hour a day for the week and just knock it over. Perhaps I haven't seen your schedule. I don't know how it works, but
That sounds like exactly what my plan is. So as soon as I finish this, it's time to open up the calendar and start jotting things down and start moving things around and seeing how I can have it all in place, so that way, I have that consistency, I have that flow, and so it's just a matter of doing it.
Yeah, cool. Benny, Pathway to Profits check-in.
So just got to spend that sort of half an hour every day. Haven't been religious at it, but I need to get to that point, so that even if just after dinner every night, just half an hour.
Yeah.
And then, just work through it and then go, okay, now I can relax, knowing that I've done half hour learning and stuff like that. Then I can go, okay, cool, and spend a bit of time with the wife and then go to bed.
Yeah, very good. Love it. So cool as boys. Thank you for all your insights and honesty there. That's great. Very impressive. I love your work. In terms of moving forward, we've got one session after this, right? Today, we're focusing on lead gen. Lead generation is the main focus today. So looking into how we've gone about constructing these sessions, we had the setting goals and intentions at the start, talk about financial structure, got started with Pathway to Profits. We spoke about direct debit systems, Facebook groups, cancellation policies, accountant stuff, talking about niches, USPs, value adds, went into the sales folder. The way I see it, if everything has been done, the concrete slab is laid. We've got a solid foundation. Now, all we need is the people to come through. The people to come through that solid foundation, everything is in place. Every system is in place that we need. We just need the leads coming through. So the focus today is on lead generation. That's the focus today. How do we get these people in? Now, just before we do that, understanding that Ben was talking about getting that sales folder fully polished up. I think you might have touched on that as well, Steve. Can Cal and I assist in any way, shape or form? Can we help? Can we answer any questions in terms of any of those things that I just spoke about?
I think it's sort of one, just got to get it hard and see how we go.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, so let's rip into lead gen. So lead generation, what is it? It's able to get whatever you need to get out there. It might have been in the shape of marketing, social media, might be in the shape of, you know, small business networking. It's getting your products and services out there or generating interest so that people inquire. People are interested in your products and services. They connect with you. So it's an opportunity for us to sell in our products and services. So what kind of things have we done before that have worked? Let's start brainstorming here. What have we done that's worked in our businesses right now?
Right.
Just
Okay.
Good.
There you go.
go ahead. Sorry, I'll go. Okay. So yeah. A big one for me is just I guess most of the people I have is either between three things. It's doing inductions at the gym. So I guess having that friendly intro where I'm the first face they see, and then going from there to leading into a consult. The second is probably my the classes that I'm doing, and it leads to those conversations leading to other services that I have. And then I would say word of mouth is probably third. And so far for me, like, and those are the three that I've been sticking to.
Sweet, bro. Cool. Very
And
good.
so I'd say that's mine.
Benny?
Yeah, obviously, your teaching classes can be a good lead sometimes, so setting a few people out of it that way.
Yep.
Not getting too many new members coming my way at the moment. Got too many new PTs here at this gym.
Right. Yeah.
So they're certainly not flowing my way. About 3 or 4 new PTs at the moment, so they will just.
Good life, Benny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good life. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of the normal average system for good life. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, so there's not too many that way. I did have a drop box in the ladies' toilet. Got a few leads out of a few weeks ago. So about half a dozen leads out of it. Only one of them turned into something at the moment. So got 1-to-1. Other than that, I signed up an former PT client for some online coaching this week. So happy with that. I mean, it's not a big dollar spend, but it's just contacting your going through your people that you've got and contacting the old ones sometimes, and they go, oh yeah, okay, I do want to do something. You know, there's a little bit of money a week, a little bit of money a week, a little bit of money a week.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Awesome. So we've got 5 forms of lead gen that you boys have just brought up just then, right? And Benny, like 6 leads and 1 sign up. That's realistically, it's a sign up. Hey, as you said, it's a sign up. So that's great. In terms of, so we've got contacting old clients using your database, utilizing your database. That's important. Inductions and orientations. Benny said he's not getting a lot of them. Steve's doing all right, but we don't want to rely on the gym. We never want to rely on the gym for leads. It's great and a bonus if we get leads from the gym. That's sensational. But as a business owner, we need to be proactively searching for leads and generating our own leads, in my opinion. Classes are cool because we're in front of people, right? They're learning about us. They're deciding if they like us. If they like us, then they've got more opportunity to ask about our products and services or just be interested. So classes are a good one. Word of mouth. What we will talk about with word of mouth is let's touch on that one a little bit today. I've got a really good system that is quite easy to implement, and drop boxes as well. Drop boxes. Same thing. Benny had a couple of people chucking drop boxes. I'm not sure if you guys saw I'm not sure if it was the VIP or community page. One of my clients, Brad Shepherd, went into a gym and trained, and one of my clients had a drop box in there, and she's averaging like 15, 20 leads a week. She's just absolutely pumping it. Works in some gyms, doesn't in others. So it's one of those hit and miss things, but still a very easy form of lead gen. Cowdog, what has been some of your biggest forms of lead gen, brother?
For me, online, so social proof. And we talked about that on the weekend too, but it's just being able to prove that you can actually do what you say you do to the people that you're trying to market to, so to your niche. So for female fat loss, success stories. So-and-so's lost 10 kilos, so-and-so's lost 5 kilos, whatever it may be, putting it out there with all the information on how they did it, having that social proof is really powerful. So we use that as a tool, and it builds trust.
I've got to agree with that so hard. Our biggest form of lead gen, and it's cool to be able to go personal here with Cal and I. So my personal form of lead gen for my gym, all my trainers are freaking social proof. Testimonials, before and afters, right? They're the two biggest things, two most powerful forms of lead gen. So let's not play around with these middle ones. Let's go straight to the top. And you've got two guys working in the fitness industry that are telling you that this form of lead generation method is fucking working strong. So let's rip into social media or social proof. Not even social media, more social proof, because you could be posting pictures of testimonials before and afters, perhaps around the gym. You might be sending them through to your database. So it might not be social media. I might just get Benny and Stevie. I don't know someone. I think it might be you, Benny. I might just get you to pause your mute your computer. I'm just getting a little bit of feedback from that. So just mute Stevie and Benny if it's okay, just to mute your screens. And then if you had, same as last time, boys, if you have something that pops up, just reach out. I think you're actually okay, Steve. So if you lose your camera, just keep it on, brother, because you were in the car. Okay, so social proof. Do you boys have, and Benny, you can just nod or shake your head. That's totally cool. Do you boys have a system in your business right now where you're getting testimonials and before and afters every so often, every 6 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks?
No.
Would you feel it would be of benefit if you set up a system that would be giving you social proof on a regular basis?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, let's hit that then. What do? How do we implement a system that can be advantageous for us to receive before and afters every so often from our clients? How would we go about that?
Well, I think like you said, I guess every 6 to 12 weeks, you need a time frame that shows enough to give you some kind of result or some kind of worthy testimonial or whatever it is. So I feel, like you said, I guess arranging every 6 weeks to have either a questionnaire be done or a photo shoot be done or something along those lines.
Yeah, I kind of gave it away with a 6-week time frame, but you're right. That's one way to do it, and there's plenty of ways to do this. But I always enjoy asking the question to see what comes up. So that's exactly right. What we had, and I'd love to hear Cal's take on this as well. We had every 6 weeks in our calendars, and we didn't do it on when the clients joined. We just did it 6 weeks. If we got a new client in between that, fine, they might get contacted in 3 weeks. But then from there, they'll get contacted every 6 weeks. Every 6 weeks, we had in our calendar testimonial time, before and afters. Let's update our before and afters. So we just had a system in our business, posted in our VIP groups and said, guys, it's before and after weeks, check-in time, get your photos through. Of course, that's not always going to work. There's always going to be a couple of people that just kind of push it by the wayside. The positive with you guys is you're face-to-face with all your clients. So you can just ask them inside a session. So having that weekly focus every 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks, whatever you prefer, of righto, let's get our photos in and just keep asking your clients. If they don't want to do it, that's all fine. You can do a testimonial perhaps, because we need to be keeping our clientele comfortable. We don't want to push them for it, but there are definitely ways. And if you ask the question, a lot of people are happy to do it. CalDog, do you have a different system, similar system?
Pretty much same, very similar. Yeah, we do every 4 to 6 weeks we check in, depending on just where the client's at. And yeah, then we just check in, depending on their results. Then we have that conversation of like, all right, you either need to pull your finger out and do better, or this is amazing results. Hey, let's get a photo. If it's 5 kilos, they're holding a 5 kilo plate. We just add that to the database of images we've got there, and then I find that a really good opportunity because they're super stoked. They're getting results. They're happy because they're not going to hate you if you're getting them results. They're in a good mindset and a good mood at that stage too. So if they haven't already, that's when I hit them up for testimonials in the form of a Google review.
Couldn't agree on that point anymore. And it was the next touch point for us was, how do we get testimonials? Do we just ask them at the same time every 6 weeks, or because it's before and after week, can you do us up a testimonial? Yeah, sure. It's not a wrong way to do it. And if you get a testimonial, that's great. But when is the best time to ask them for a testimonial? What is a testimonial? What's the intention for it? You want people to, you want your clients or whatever to be spruiking your name in the most positive light possible, right? So word of mouth, it's like kind of word of mouth on steroids, right? By the way, I couldn't get on the THQs one. So when this meeting runs out in 9 minutes and 52 seconds, I'll put another link in the group. So just FYI, gang. So the best time to ask for testimonials, as Cal said, if they do a check-in and they've lost 5 kilos, that person is going to be stoked. That person is going to be ecstatic and like, oh my God, thank you so much. This has been amazing. I can't believe I've done that. That is the perfect opportunity. Hey, would you actually be interested in writing us up a testimonial? I'd love to share it out and just help more people how we've helped you. Would you be interested in that? Oh yeah, for sure. So that would be the prime opportunity for ask for a testimonial.
And in that case, I was gonna say, do you guys have prepared questions like, oh, here's a good time for a testimonial, can you answer these questions? Or do you just say, like yeah, I'm curious, like your process, do you give them like free reign to say something, or do you kind of quote them? Or
I used to have 3 or 4 questions, I think, that I would send through, and then they would have to text it back to me. I don't use that anymore. I just ask them for a Google review and let them just write whatever they feel more comfortable writing. I find that is a much more honest response from that person. It's not as scripted, and yeah, I feel like other people resonate with that a bit better. It's more real. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. I agree with the real thing. If it comes off as real, raw, and genuine, people are going to resonate to it, right? My script, and I think I actually got a similar script to Cal, but to answer your question, Steve, if you wanted to start going off a script, but there's no wrong or right here. It's about trying something, seeing how well it works. So we had 3 questions. Number 1 was, what was life like before, or how did you feel before you started training with me? And that paints a clear picture, and it allows people to resonate with that person. So I was feeling fat, slow, overweight, frumpy, unmotivated, and it gets all those emotions out. And then someone reading that can be like, I fucking know how you feel, bro, you know? And then, so that would be the first bit. What was life like before, or how did you feel before training with me? Second question is, and again, there's multiple ways to do this, but second question could be, what is life like now? Now that I've lost 10 kilos, I feel motivated, I feel confident in my own skin, and I just have more energy through the day. That's a pretty short, sharp testimonial, but pretty powerful, some of that language in there, right? The third question is, what would you say to someone that was in a similar position to you? What would you say to them to get them over the fence? Oh, just don't even think about it, just do it. You know, or whatever their question might be. So that were the 3 questions that I used. Cal, I think yours are similar. Were yours similar?
It was very similar, because you want to know where they were and what they did to get there, and how they're feeling once they got there as well. And would they recommend you to someone else as well? Yeah. Beautiful.
So in terms of implementing a system, we've got the questions. In terms of implementing a system, how do we do that? What do we do? Do we write it in the calendar? Do we create a 6-week reminder on our phone? What can we actually do? What tool can we use just so we can have something locked and loaded by the end of the session?
Yeah, so I think from what I heard from both of you, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you said, Brad, that you do it every 6 weeks regardless of when people start. And I think Callan was implying that he does it each person. And so once they reach their 4 to 6 weeks or whatever it is. So that's something I was toying with too. I didn't know which way to go about it. But I guess now that you're saying it that way is as soon as you sign up someone, or you'd have to backtrack now, but as soon as you sign up someone, go straight to your calendar 6 weeks from now, reminder, or I guess that's exactly.
I don't think there's a right way to do it exactly. I see the benefits in the way Brad does it. One, because it'd be easier on the person in charge of it just go bang every 6 months. It's just there, you know. You have to do it with everyone, and that's what it is. Whereas when the way I do it, I'm like, shit, is that person 5 or 6 weeks in? Where are they at? So you've got to make sure you're accountable and do that as well. But usually I'm having that conversation with people. The ones that are really committed to getting those sorts of results, the real big numbers, drops and all that sort of stuff, they're sort of on track anyway. Like, oh shit, we're almost due for weigh-in in next week or something.
Yeah.
Sweet, cool, let's do it.
Yeah.
Sweet as. Benny, mate, if you wanted to say anything, literally just unmute and rip in, bro. I definitely didn't want to block you out of this conversation or session. I just wanted everyone to be able to hear. So, mate, if you have anything to say, make sure you rip in.
Well, no, it's just they're pretty much, obviously, I've got a lot of longer term clients. So I suppose checking in with them, you probably don't do it as often with the longer term clients sometimes. So it is just, checking back in with them. Obviously, we just had an 8-week challenge not long ago here at Good Life as well. So I've got some pretty good before and after photos. Did
sweet, bro, yeah.
Challenge.
Yeah.
So, they're really good social proof. One girl lost 8.1 in 8 weeks.
Gee, that's great.
Club runner up to the state win,
Wow, sensational. Yeah.
But she misses out on state winner because she was club runner up to the girl that won club, who was also the state winner. So,
yeah, okay. yeah, nice work. And look, what I'm hearing here is, Steve, it doesn't matter what system you have in place, as long as you've got a system that works for you, right? As Cal was saying, Ben, if you're doing it every 8 weeks, mate, before and after is sensational. Results like that are sick. And don't just post that stuff, especially with results like that. Don't just post that stuff once. I see so many coaches posting it once and they're like, oh, I've used that. Post it, get it out there. Like if people see it a second time, it's not going to piss them off. It'll probably start pissing them off if they see it like 10 times in 2 weeks. Like I understand that, but like recycle it. And then a couple of months later, you can still use it. So my recommendation would be to create a folder in your phone. And I've got an iPhone. I don't know how Samsung's work, but you can create folders. I've got a folder of testimonials. It's labeled testimonials. Every time my coaches send me a testimonial or a before and after transformation photo, I put it in the photo. I put it in the album. Sorry. Now, when comes time that I'm doing an absolute, lead gen spruiking system, I've got all that stuff from months back. I don't need to scroll through my photos. They are right there. So I got myself into the habit of putting that stuff, the juicy content, straight into that album. It's there, touch of a finger, really easy. And also you've got like, as I was just speaking about, like results like that, mate, keep posting it. Cal was really good. He had some great results at the start and he was recycling it, but it was months at a time. So no one would even, not that it's important, but no one would recognize it. And it still holds a lot of weight and power.
Definitely. Yeah, I've recycled so many times to the point where I'm like, shit, how many times can I do this?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not, like what Brad said, I'm not jamming it in 10 times in a fortnight. I spread it out. I'll go, right, I've got 10 success stories. Let's do one a week for 10 weeks. And if we haven't got a new one in that period of time for whatever reason, we just go back to the start. But usually we get 1 or 2 in that time period anyway. And just add them to the mix.
I know what we're saying there, like, that somebody else might be saying it for the first time.
Exactly.
Yeah,
100%. For the first time, you might have posted it 100 times. If somebody else has done it for the first time, and that person becomes the lead for you, then winning.
Yeah.
Exactly, man. And if someone does, like, get upset about you posting the same photo over and over, who cares? They're obviously not the person you're trying to reach out to. So.
100%. Yeah. So on that as well, not exactly the same thing, but I was looking for more PTs a couple of months back, and I've got this same job ad, right? I got the same job ad. I posted it once a week for 4 weeks or 5 weeks. On the first 2 weeks, got nothing. I posted it twice in the first 2 weeks. So I posted it 4 times. Twice a week in the first 2 weeks, 4 times. So on the third week, I didn't give up. I posted the same thing again. So people had seen it, same with the before and after, same with the testimonials. They just might see it at the right time. I had 3 personal trainers apply to the 5th post. Same post, posted it 5 times over 3 weeks, 3 people applied. So you're right, Benny. They might see it for the first time, or it might just be the right time for them. They might have had a time. Kids weren't running around, jumping off, pulling their hair, all that stuff. They were actually able to see it And maybe they were feeling not so good within themselves. Maybe they had a tough day. And maybe that's enough to make them make the change. So absolutely agree with all the above. Awesome. Boys, so social proof is a big portion of it, right? We've decided that putting a system in the business would be advantageous to us. We've even dove into what system are we going to implement. Are we clear on that? Do we know exactly how to implement this system into our business and get consistent